Alright, hey y'all, what is up, and welcome back to my channel for another speed build slash life update. I have been anticipating this speed build update for a while, been teasing y'all about it, and I'm finally ready to dish out all the details on where I've been. I know most of you probably seen the video that I posted saying I'm going through a really bad breakup. I'm going to be taking a break. I took a break. It was much needed. I'm glad to be back, but I do want to go into detail about that toxic relationship, and only for the purpose, not to poor pity me or just to talk about myself, but because I firmly believe that we're allowed to go through things and come out stronger, so we can be like a testament and a testimony and an encouragement to others who are going through the same thing. And I know I'm not the only one that has gone through this, so I'm going to talk about that, but of course I wanted to include it in a speed build, so I'm going to try to squeeze everything in. I feel like, how do I get 6 years in my life lessons into like a 20-something minute long video? So I tried to keep in as much as I could, just so this would be a little bit longer, so you're going to see all of my indecisiveness. So sorry if that bothers you, but anyways, just to mention the speed build real quick before I dive in. This house, I love it. This is my first build since Seasons came out. I absolutely love the craftsman style. I love every build by everything that came with it. I think it's perfect. I love this house a little bit too much. I love the wraparound porch. I love how I was able to incorporate a garden with the flower arranging and the beekeeping. But anyways, I hope you guys like it. It's a nice little family home, perfect for, you know, a Seasons family. But anyways, let me just go ahead and get into my story. Alright, so I don't even know where to begin. Alright, so let's go back 6 years ago. Let's go back to 6 years ago. Little old me, I was about to start my senior year of high school, and I met this boy at church. Oh, real quick, let me just go ahead and give this little disclaimer here, because I just feel like I need to, because this is my life story, this is my experience. I'm going to be talking about like drug use, drug addicts, drugs. I'm even going to mention, you know, praying and religion and God, because that's just my beliefs and that's part of my story. So I just ask that if you disagree or you don't like what I have to say, or you think I was stupid, whatever, keep it to yourself. Don't be hateful and ugly to others who, you know, believe the same thing, or, you know, similar situations. Let's just all be nice. If you don't like it, or you think you have something better to say that, you know, I don't know, that would influence me or whatever, you can message me, but let's just be nice. This is just my experience. I just wanted to throw that little disclaimer out there. But anyways, I met him at church, and he was 5 years older than me at the time, so I was like 17, he was like 22, I think. I don't know if that's the right math, something like that. But anyways, he showed interest in me. He was very good looking, and of course I was like, ooh, like stupid and naive, like, ooh, an older boy likes me, ooh. And so we started like texting and talking and whatnot, and I kind of figured that my parents would not approve, so I kind of started like beating around the bush, like bringing it up just to see how they would react, like once I mentioned his age. And of course I was right. They were not pleased with it. They told me, you know, that's kind of weird, it's kind of sketchy, no, they're never going to approve, I need to hang that up. Well, I didn't. I, for some reason, just really wanted to prove everybody wrong, and I really liked him. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and so I continued to like pursue this relationship with this guy, and I was sneaking around behind my parents' backs. I was lying to them, just being very rebellious, because, you know, I wasn't allowed to be with him, so I would just lie, tell them I was going to my friend's house. Don't be like me. I was a rebellious bad child. And so yeah, that's kind of how it started. It started off just very toxic to begin with, and just not right. But, you know, for some reason I was just, Romeo and Juliet was in my head, like, oh, I'm fighting for this, it's gonna work. And I had multiple people like tell me at the beginning of this relationship, Carissa, I've heard bad things about him, he's bad news, I've heard he did drugs and stuff like that. And I was like, there's absolutely no way, you know, because at this point in our relationship I wasn't seeing him like all the time. It was kind of at his convenience when he could like meet up with me or like go to the movies or something with me, because I was still lying to my parents about it. So like now looking back, I see all the red flags that, okay, yeah, he probably was, but to me I wasn't seeing it. So I was like, y'all full of crap, no he's not. So I just like defended him and did not think that at all. finally, I got busted. My parents caught me. It was like World War III. It really like ruined our relationship, mine and my parents' relationship. And they told me like, no, you need to end it with him. And I continued to do it anyways until finally they said, you know what, whatever, we give up. You're about to graduate. You're about to be on your own anyways. Do what you want to do. But they were not happy about it. So finally, once I graduated, I had decided I was going to go out of town to college, which is only about an hour and a half away, but I really just wanted to be away from my parents. I wanted some independence. I didn't want to have to fight with them, and I just really wanted to be with this guy. So I ended up moving away, and it was then moving away where I was, oh yeah, I'm at college, I'm having fun, Mom, I'm doing good, but really I was like in my hometown, like right down the road from my parents with my boyfriend, because, you know, I didn't want to listen to them like fuss at me, but, you know, I wanted to be with him. And it was at that time that I was spending time with him and like seeing him in his, you know, environment and atmosphere that I really started to notice something's not right. And like I had this gut feeling, you know, run, not okay, this is not right. And so I started to see that, yes, I wasn't for sure at first that he was doing drugs. I've never like experienced drug use or been around a drug addict in my life before, so I didn't know what to expect. But I did find out that he was selling drugs, or he was a drug dealer. And of course I was upset about it, but you know, he would lie and I would believe him. And then it became like very toxic, to where I started noticing he was acting different. Like he would zone out. Sometimes he would like mix certain stuff and be like hyperactive. And I was like, okay, well, he's doing the drugs. He's not just selling them, he's doing them. And so we would fight. I would get so upset. And like, to me, in my head, because I had like grown up in church and stuff, and like I met him at church, and I was like hell-bent determined to be his like savior and like be the good for him and like change him, like some Nicholas Sparks movie crap, you know, where you can just like change the guy and like he's gonna fall in love with you and be everything you wanted him to be. And that was like my intentions, and that's what I had going for me, because I felt like I had spent so much time trying to make this work and fighting for this. I wasn't giving up, and I just refused to believe it for a long time, until it just got so bad that it was just very toxic. I was excluded from family and friends. I was hiding this just mentally and physically, emotionally, like abuse from this like drug addict that I was like in love with, that was like taking advantage of me and manipulating me. I didn't realize it at the time, but I started to, you know, notice my money was missing sometimes, you know, my stuff was being stolen, and just I couldn't find stuff like that was of value to me, and that I knew would be of value to him if he could get his hands on it. So it just got so bad to where I remember I was about to head back to school for my sophomore year. So this was like all throughout my first year of college that all of this started to go on. And I remember praying, you know, to God one night. Like I was like full on having a panic attack. We had just gotten like a fist fight. I mean, I'm telling y'all, it was bad. And I remember like, God, I can't do this. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't have the strength. I don't have the willpower to leave him. I can't. I need you to help me get out of this, because I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't get out of this relationship. I was so miserable, so unhappy. My relationship with my parents was terrible. I couldn't even reach out to them. My friends were mad at me because like I couldn't be with my friends. I always had to be with him. And so I just didn't know what to do or who to turn to. And so I remember praying that prayer, and then like immediately he called me and like broke up with me. And like it was like so like, oh, okay, well, thank you, God. Okay, like I was very heartbroken and upset over it, but kind of like relieved. And he had stolen like a great deal amount of money, and we got into it, and like it was a big deal, and I just kind of wanted my hands washed with him. So I didn't talk to him for about 2 years. Or maybe like a year and a half. I kind of went on to school, did my own thing. I was just trying to move on, trying to heal, because like I said, I was very bitter. I was very angry, and I had just like lost myself, and I just didn't even know who I was anymore. It was a very hard time for me. I was drinking a lot and partying a lot and just trying to find myself. And I hadn't seen him, but I had heard through the grapevine, you know, that he was just off the deep end, just really heavy into drugs. He had gotten arrested and all that. So finally I ended up having to come home, just like financial reasons and like life. I had to come back to my hometown, and I kind of started going back to church and trying to get my life together and try to just be happy again and find my purpose and all of that sorts of stuff. and I kind of like started to forgive him. Like in my heart, I knew I needed to let go of that bitterness, and if I really wanted to heal and move on, I needed to let myself heal, and that was to like forgive him. So I was like pray for him, even though I knew he was doing like all these terrible things. And finally, he ended up going to a Christian-based rehab facility, and he got clean. And I was just hearing about it. We went to the same church, you know, and I was like, well, you know, I'm going to have to see him eventually. Like, good for him. I mean, I need to see it to believe it. Like, I really didn't believe it. So I went to his graduation, and I seen him. He was healthy. He looked good. He was happy. Like, just a complete transformation. And he was everything that I had wanted, like that I had worked so hard. Oh, I'm going to change him. So it was like, to me, in my stupid head, I was thinking, oh, okay, this is like God, like fixing him for me and sending him back to me. Like our stars have aligned. So he ended up getting out of the rehab. He went back home. He was doing good. He was working at the church. We kind of reconnected. We started dating again, and we dated again for almost 2 years. And this is like, most of you probably like seeing pictures of us together. If y'all follow me on social media, I had posted it, so y'all might kind of put a face with it. But anyways, we were doing really good for about a year out of this 2 years. He was completely different, like I said, treating me right. There were still some like red flags that I was kind of concerned about, not with drugs, but just like his selfishness that I was not okay with. And like deep down in my gut and like my instinct, I knew that even though, yeah, he's doing better, he's everything I had wanted him to be, this is what I had wanted for him and from him, but he wasn't mine. Like, it wasn't for me. Like, I knew that, and I felt like God was saying no, like no, not him, this is not going to work. I just knew this was not good, and I couldn't go back to something that had hurt me so bad, but I did it anyways, and I fought it, and I fought that feeling for a whole 2 years that we were together. I fought that feeling, and eventually, maybe the last probably about 6, 7, 8 months of our relationship, he started to struggle again with drugs. And if any of you know an addict, whether it be drugs or whether it be alcohol or anything, an addiction is an addiction, but especially like specifically drug addicts, they're very selfish. And I had been through it. That I had caught on to like his personality, like how he was acting, and like catching him in lies. And I was thinking, okay, he's struggling. Like, he's really starting to struggle. So like me, once again, trying to like save him. Oh, I'm going to pray for him. Oh, it's going to be okay. Oh, he's going to come out. He did it before. He can do it again. And I just kind of wanted to be like that solid ground for him and be there for him. I didn't want to leave him. Because like part of me felt bad for him. Like, his dad was a drug addict. It like ran in his family. And I felt bad. Like, I really did. And so I wanted to believe the best. I have a habit of believing the best in people, and like I felt like I had put so much effort once again into this relationship. I needed to help him. And so we ended up like getting an apartment together. I thought that, you know, that would help him like with responsibility and stuff like that. He could help me and, you know, get away from his mom. They were having like these issues because like she didn't trust him, just like a bunch of drama. And so it was at that point that things really went downhill, like when I was able to like be there with him all the time, like moving in with him. I had, you know, kind of at this point, he admitted that he had struggled and he had like relapsed a little bit, but he was trying to do better. But it was at that point that it got really bad to where he was completely different. There came that emotional abuse again, that manipulation. Like, it was bad. Yeah, it was really, I don't even know how to like go into detail, just talking about how like he made me feel and like how he made me feel worthless, and you know, he was just hateful. Like, they're hateful, selfish, like manipulative. I can't even wrap my mind around how people can treat somebody the way he treated me. But he did, and it was all because of drugs, and that's all he had on his mind was getting his drugs. He stole all of my money. Anytime I had money, he would steal it. He would put me like -500 in my freaking checking account because he would like withdraw money and all the fees would add up. I had to carry cash. I had to hide the cash. I had to sleep with my wallet under my pillow. He was pawning my guns, the TVs, like just everything of value that he could get his hands on. He stole it from me and would pawn it for money, and we would fight all the time, and he would put his hands on me and he would like choke me, and like I'm telling you, y'all, it was bad. And from the outside looking in, I tried to make it look like everything was good. I tried so hard to make it look like we were doing great and like everything was fine, because I was embarrassed because I didn't listen to anybody. I went back the second time and I just felt like a complete fool, and I just tried to mask it, and I was alone. I was once again in this state of I don't know who I am. I'm like in this toxic relationship where he's like taking everything that I have in me, everything good, and just like I was negative. I didn't understand. I don't even know, just all these negative emotions. I'm trying to like push past that and finish the story on a happy note. But anyways, I kind of finally realized one day that I had enough and I couldn't do it no more. Like I just could not live like this anymore. I knew that this was not the person I was supposed to be with, and that this is not how you treat somebody, and that I deserve better. So finally something came over me, and I just had the courage and like the strength to leave. And it was a bunch of drama with that. He honestly didn't care. He didn't try to reach out to me or make me stay or anything, because he was just, you know, knew that I wanted him to pick me over the drugs, and he wasn't going to. But to end that story on a happy note, it wasn't long after that I got into a new relationship, which I know people have like judged me and like, oh my god, you move on so fast, and you may be thinking that, but you guys have to understand like the relationship that I came from, and how, yeah, we were together, but I was so like mentally, physically exhausted and abused that my heart was like not even there anymore. I was just wanting out. I was just wanting an escape, and like just praying for an escape. And it was somebody, you know, y'all probably seen the pictures I posted if y'all follow me on social media or Snapchat, but it was one of my friends, my really, really good friend's brother, and I've known him forever, but like obviously I thought he was attractive, but never like pursued anything because I was always in a relationship. But you know, I knew that it was him, and like I tried to like ignore it and tried to like fight it, like no, it's too soon, I just got out of a relationship, I need to like be me and do single for a little bit. But you know, I couldn't, like I knew that this is him, this is the one that I've been like praying for and I've been waiting for. As corny as that may sound. But anyways, there was kind of some drama to that too, because his mom and my ex-boyfriend's mom are like best friends. And they actually kind of like grew up as friends. They aren't friends anymore because, you know, he was on drugs and whatnot. But yeah, there was a little bit of drama with that, and that was kind of what made me not want to pursue that relationship. But once I couldn't like fight that feeling that this is right, I don't know, I'm happy now. It's basically the whole point of that, me telling you about this new relationship that I'm in. I'm happy. Was treated like crap for 6 years in this toxic relationship that honestly was like the worst time of my life, like thinking about how I felt and like the thoughts running through my head and not feeling like I was worthy of love or anything like that. And it's like made it all worth it. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. But it made it all worth it because it led me to where I'm at now, and I've never been happier. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. I've never been treated like this before, like how somebody is supposed to be treated, how like a man is supposed to treat a woman and be pursued and loved. Like I've never ever felt like this. I didn't even know it was real. Like I read about it, but I didn't think it was ever going to be for me, and so soon. But it happened, and so I don't know, like yes, it was hard, and I wish I didn't have to go through it. I wish I would have made, you know, better decisions and listened to people. But like I said, I believe that we're allowed to go through things, like our consequences, you know, our decisions or whatever. We're going to grow from it, and we're going to learn from it. And, you know, it can be turned around for the better, and it can be a lesson to somebody else. So I don't regret anything. I learned a lot. I learned what I don't want in a relationship. I learned how I deserve to be treated, and like I said, all the pain and everything led me to somebody who has shown me what it's like to be loved and treated like a princess. And he's just really healed me and like just picked up all the pieces, and he's been patient, and I'm smitten. But anyways, this video is starting to wrap up, and that's pretty much the gist of like the breakup and everything. I really just tried to go into much detail as I could, even though it's kind of hard, and I know it's like touchy subject talking about drugs and like even like praying and like religion and God and stuff, but it's my experience and it's my story and it's my journey, and I believe that I'm not the only one that's gone through things like that, and I believe that, you know, I can encourage somebody. So I mean, if you know anybody that's ever been an addict, or you know, you're in a toxic relationship, whether they're just abusive or they just treat you like you're a piece of crap, if you feel less than or unworthy, take it from somebody who went through it for 6 years. You don't deserve that. You deserve so much better. You deserve to be a priority. You deserve to be treated like a queen, prince, whatever it is, a king, queen. Like, you deserve that. Like, don't ever be with somebody that makes you feel less than or question your worth or makes you feel like you're lost or just less than. I mean, that's just not love. I know it's hard. You may love them, but I'm telling you, there is better out there. There is somebody that's going to love you and appreciate you, and don't spend years just trying to fight for something that's never meant to be yours to begin with. And if you haven't gone through, you know, a toxic relationship, but maybe you know, I think most girls and even, you know, boys, we want to find the one. We want that love, and sometimes we feel like it's never going to come. Sometimes it comes when you least expect it. I didn't think that, you know, getting out of this toxic relationship, I thought, oh, maybe it's probably going to take me like years, like 6 years. I wasted 6 years. It's probably going to take me 6 years to like find somebody good. And like, he was there right after. You know, it's like sometimes things fall apart so better things can fall together. And it's like, you know, I was an answer to his prayer, and he was an answer to mine. We was right there in front of each other this whole time and didn't even know it. So yeah, this video is wrapping up, and like, I could talk about this a whole lot more, but I'm running out of time. So I hope you enjoyed kind of the story or my journey. I hope that it encourages you. I hope y'all understand, you know, why I needed that break, but I hope y'all get that I'm happy now. I'm so happy, and I'm excited to be back. Thank you once again so much for all of the love and support, and everybody like checking in on me and sending good thoughts and prayers and vibes my way. It really does mean so much. Y'all are awesome. This community is awesome. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching this little build as I ramble on about my life, talking about myself. But anyways, this house is available for download on the gallery, so if you're interested, all of that is linked down in the description below. And with that being said, I will talk to y'all later.